Remember these fellas? Even some of you ladies. Bull workers. Back when I was 18, 20 years old, 30 odd years ago, these were the saving grace for all weaklings like me. They were advertised on television by a guy who was huge. Muscles everywhere. And his arms were out like this, and he literally had a girl hanging off each arm. And his body looked like a Dairy Lee cheese. And they said, buy a bull worker. Push it up. Stretch it out. And you too can have a body like this. Well, we sent for it, didn't we? And then it came, and we eagerly took the wrapping off, and we took it out, and we went... And it went under the bed, didn't it? Because what they didn't say was that the guy on television with the huge body like the Dairy Lee cheese had been using that and other things like it for like 100 years before. But we saw it on television in a 30-second advert and we said, that's for me. But success, as we now know, is very rarely instant. All of life's achievers that we see everywhere rarely stumble upon the success they have. I'm sure that Edmund Hillary never said to Sherpa Tenzin, let's go for a walk, and then found themselves on top of a hill. I'm sure the most financially successful people in the world never said, let's buy something and sell it for a bit more. My guess is that every single one of them had a vision, and then at some point they were able to look around them, see what they'd created or see what they'd achieved, and said, this is it. This is that vision I set myself all those years ago. Well, have you got a vision? Because it's highly unlikely that you're going to have your this is it moment unless you actually know what it is. So let's take a moment now. Not too long term, but think of a vision. Think of something that you would like to achieve in the short distance. Make it achievable, but make it challenging. Remember what they say about mediocrity. Mediocrity always sets goals that it knows it can achieve. So let's have a think about some of the things that you could use as a vision now. Maybe you're watching this in your lunch break and you're thinking, it's 3 months into the year and I'm not even 3 months into my annual targets yet. Maybe you want to save a little bit more money up for that holiday or for next year's Christmas presents and you're thinking, well, how can I save up 500 quid or how can I do this? Maybe it's something you want to give in. Maybe you want to stop smoking. See, stopping smoking for life is huge. It's so difficult that it frightens people. So maybe you could just stop smoking for this afternoon or tomorrow and then build it on there. But whatever it is, let's create now, very quickly in your head, a vision that we can work towards. And then what we need is some motivation. How are we going to make sure that this vision comes to life? I look at motivation in two ways. You can either be moving towards something or moving away from something. I've never been proved wrong yet. I still think that every single thing we do in life is to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. We're moving away from pain or we're moving towards pleasure. Don't know if you've ever watched the London Marathon on television, but after a while you can only watch so many Ronald McDonalds, you can only watch so many models of London Bridge, and when all the big guys have gone and all the fast girls have gone, all there is left is just thousands and thousands of people going across your screen. I'm thinking we could make it more viewer-friendly. If, let's say, after 10 miles, the last 3 every mile had to go back and start again. Can you imagine how that would increase the motivation of the runners? You see, the race would be in 2 halves anyway. There's the people at the front that this wouldn't bother because they're looking at their watch. They have a vision. The vision was the time they wrote on the piece of paper that they'd finish in. And they're setting for that. And they're just moving towards that. And they're running like this. They don't know what's going on at the back and they don't care. But at the back, these guys know that now we've done 10 miles. So after this, the last 3 have to start again. So they're running along and they're going 1, 2, 3. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. We're safe for another mile. See, the people at the front, they're moving towards the vision. The people at the back, They're moving away from something they don't want to happen. So now you've got your short-term vision and you know what your motivation is. You know whether it's something pleasurable that you're moving towards or something painful that you want to move away from. All that remains for us to do now is to break it down into small achievable pieces. Staying with the marathon analogy, I know I've run several marathons in my life and I still think it's lunacy to leave your house with the intention of running 26 miles non-stop. I find it so much easier to run 1 mile 26 times. Then all I have to do is focus on getting from that mile to that mile and then again and again. So break your vision down. What's the smallest thing you can do on a consistent basis that will have the greatest positive impact on achieving your vision? And then focus on the smallest thing. Remember the law of persistence, which states that as long as you're facing in the right direction, if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you have to get there in the end. So you've got your vision, you've got your motivation, and you've got what's the smallest thing I can do on a consistent basis that will bring me the biggest positive impact on my vision. I can't guarantee this, because whether you achieve it or not is down to your authenticity. But what I can say is that if you keep your vision and you just work on it one small piece at a time, before too long, you'll be looking around you going, this is it. This was my vision. Have fun with this one. See you soon.